I should record all the time. Every time I don't, I regret it badly. And then I still don't record it. Ay, ay, ay. All right, who wants to go first? Melissa, you started talking, right?
Yeah, I had a lot, so I'm just gonna try to skim through. I didn't
No,
highlight.
no, it's okay. 3 of us only here, so
That's
the
true.
floor is yours.
Well, I was
Thank
also
you,
trying to figure out when was our last group call, so I
Melissa, talk.
don't overlap. Let's see, what day are we? Sorry, just looking through the, okay, 17. Do, 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 do.
While she is looking for signs, Amberlyn, did you watch the recording?
Yes.
Did you like it?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had your thing sort of in a weird way in my dream last night.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's all being processed.
Okay, cool. Okay, let's start with Sunday. So this week has been a week full of, well, not a week full. Anyway, Sunday and Saturday, or Sunday and Monday, I woke up both days just feeling overwhelming, huge fear and sadness when I woke up. And Sunday, I was like, well, or Monday, whatever, Monday and Tuesday. I was like, well, is it because I'm going to work, or because I went back to work this week at week 3.5 post-surgery. So I was like, is it that, or is it because I know technically should be my time of month, so is it hormones? And then Irina kindly reminded me I'm probably processing, so I'm like, okay, I'll keep an eye out for the signs. Well, that day with signs, I have a weekly food delivery, and on the bag when I brought it inside was a tiny cute little ladybug. So besides good luck, I really don't remember.
A blessing. Okay. Well, okay, here is the whole scope. Usually ladybug for me, blessing, that's it. When I see it, I'm very happy. But if you start thinking about it in Russian, which you sort of already know half of Russian, right? Right?
I know. I'm learning.
Just kidding, just kidding. Both of you, Amberlyn and Melissa, soon you will know Russian very fluently. So in Russian, it's God's cow. So to me, that's supply. I mean, God's cow, literally, it's the translation is God's cow, Божья коровка. Small, little, the literal translation, small God's cow or little cow of God. Why? Who knows?
That makes sense. It came with my food delivery.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
So should we sign the new meaning? Not new meaning, but should we sign the universal meaning like supply?
Mm-hmm.
Amberlyn, do you agree? So you got, Amberlyn, you got a new word for your vocabulary.
All right. So started the day with the ladybug. Then there was a bald eagle. And then I had the
we forgot something. Melissa, we always, and I don't know why you slipped, because you were always in the right thing. Every time you give a sign, you interpret it. You say, you might not interpret it whole as a whole thing, but what it means. Let's do that. Okay.
Okay.
Remember, we've done it before.
Because I had so many, I was gonna do the all at the end again.
Yes, you can do all at the end again as a whole thing. The other day I was thinking, I said, what happened to us? Why is it everybody talks about signs and nobody interprets them as we go along? Because that's the whole point of this group, to enrich the vocabulary. Yeah, I noticed it was at some point somebody slid and everybody followed and I didn't notice. That's what it was. But I didn't feel comfortable
Probably me.
about it. I don't know,
Mm.
but yeah,
Okay, so then the bald eagle, which is for me freedom.
freedom and
God's messenger.
any raptor is God's messenger. And remember, Amberlyn is here. Lisa will be watching. Maybe Stacy will be watching because Stacy is in San Diego right now. So we look at the meaning, right? And every raptor family is the God's messenger for some reason.
Then I had 2 trucks with on track with them.
Yeah,
So
I
I
love that
know-
track from you. I love
Yeah.
that picture from you when you send it to me. Oh, it's a good.
Usually, like when I first sent you that picture, it was everywhere, and then I realized they're not everywhere until I need them, which was Monday.
Right. Right.
Then I walked into work, and literally 5 seconds later, I'm hearing in the background that someone's pregnant with a girl. I'm like, oh, congrats. So there's a birth coming up.
Isn't it amazing? The minute you walked in,
First day back at work.
a muggle would never notice that. We do.
Okay, so the story that I wanted to tell Irina. So I was driving home after work, and out of the corner of my eye, I look over, I have an older RAV4. It's a 2012. It was the last model with the spare tire that was on the back of the door, right? So it has a cover on it. And I look
Well,
over.
I meant to ask you about it.
Yeah, well, I wanted to share. So I saw it, and I was like, before I even confirmed, I was like, the cover of that RAV4 is going to be crooked. And I looked over, and it was. So I'm like, okay, that would be annoying for me, but whatever. And that got me thinking back to 2 days before surgery. I had to go in for labs, and I accidentally backed up my RAV4 into a very low wall. So it cracked just the cover. The spare tire is fine. The rest of my car is fine, but my spare tire cover is cracked. I took it in just to have an estimate, and they're like, it's going to be about $1,000 if I just go with them to order the part. Because it's 10 years old, they don't have it pre-painted anymore, so they'd have to custom paint it, and then very little installation fee, but it's like $1,000. I've looked it up online. It's maybe $200 to $500 to buy it, and I'm like, he's like, it's not going to fall apart. It's purely cosmetic at this point. If you want to save your money for something else, please do, because this is like nothing. So I'm like, that. So just looking at that RAV4 that Monday brought up this conversation. His words were, considering how old your car is and where you drive for your work, you're probably going to be in an accident more likely than this spare tire cover falling off or falling apart. So I was thinking of those words.
Wow. People have no clue what they're saying. He
Right.
gave you a suggestion.
He gave me the suggestion,
A
and
pure
as I'm
suggestion.
thinking, I'm almost sideswiped.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait.
What the heck?
So
Yeah.
then I remember, okay, thoughts are power. No more sideswipe. Thank you for this big message that
Reminder.
I had been not necessarily channeling it, but I'd been putting my energy in it. Love and bless, love and bless. Everyone's fine. We were all good. No one got hurt.
Hold on a second, please. See, Amberlyn? This is how virus doesn't spread. But virus spreads. Why? Because people gave each other suggestions. Scientists gave suggestions that it spreads. Everybody says, oh, science says, it's like science is the last word. There's no God, only science is the last word here. Here exactly. And you will follow, because unfortunately, suggestions are not something we can see, because they're given to us at all times by everybody. And it's internal, so we accept internally without knowing it. I remember the Truman Show, right? The Truman Show. Have you seen Amberlynn? I know Melissa saw it. The Truman Show. Suggestions are everywhere, but they're for specific reason, to keep him a prisoner on the island. And they are all nice suggestions. Don't travel by water. It's dangerous. Get a ticket to Fiji. But whatever, I don't remember. Something is closed. The gate is closed. Things like that. And these are suggestions that we accept without any filter, because we got used to it. It's been since, I don't know, many lifetimes, right? And we have no idea about it. So that's why when I said virus doesn't spread, well, Amberlynn didn't believe me. Melissa does, because she knows. We already went through it. But
it took me a while too.
yeah, but Amberlynn didn't believe me. Why? Because she got used to, she accepted the suggestion that everybody says. So here is another amazing result of this work. When you're aware like this, you will know, oh, I was just giving a suggestion. Heck no, I'm not accepting it. And hopefully you will catch it on time, because suggestions are all over the place. People constantly give each other suggestions. If you start looking for it, you will see a lot of those. And so we need to, again, train ourselves. It's a process, but it's an amazing thing, because your awareness kicks in and you say, no, I'm not taking this suggestion. And you won't, because you're now aware of it. Life gets better. Melissa didn't get into accident because she caught it on time. She nearly missed it, because if you did accept that suggestion, you would get it, because that was a pure suggestion, get into accident.
Which was funny, because when he first brought it up, when I was first at the shop, I was like, yeah, statistically, I agree with you, or, I not agree. I acknowledge you, but it's not in my reality, because I've been here for how long and I haven't been in any accidents. Right. So I was like, no, I'm not going to get in an accident.
But it was still so strong.
Right.
That you see, on the other side, it could be one thing. On the inside, it could be another thing, but you still caught it. You still did it. You did the work. If you didn't do the work, if you didn't notice it, you will get into accident, because that was strong. That's an amazing example.
Yeah, it was actually the closest accident I've had in a long time.
And we know that accidents
are not accidents.
Angry person collided. Anger attracted anger. Boom. Because we don't create nice stuff. It's a human creation, and every accident is a human creation. Two angry people collided. At that time, some kind of anger came up. I mean, everybody's angry, but something came up and they were just had to collide. Yeah.
So yeah, pass, do our thing, leave, whatever. On my way home, almost home, I noticed I'm following another RAV4, same edition, same old version, and it's gold. So I was like, okay, I got confirmation that I recognized my lesson of needing to be very, very careful with my thoughts and power.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay. And again, these RAV4s, they're 10 years old. They're not common anymore. And I had the other one and the gold one and mine. Well, mine.
So you left it cracked?
Yeah, it's still cracked.
Good for you.
Yes, it annoys me, but whatever.
You don't even see it. It's in the back.
It's in the back. It's only annoys me when I'm like, oh, I had to open the back and it's here. Okay.
Oh, well.
And you really can't see it unless you like go close. But
Ugh.
I know.
Yeah.
So that was Monday.
Your new car will come. Okay, here's your new suggestion. Your new car will come sooner than you even imagine.
Yeah.
I think it's coming up soon.
Really?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. That's nice. I'll take
I
it.
think that's what the first thing you will do very soon after you
After
got
the
to
loan.
that point of we'll not talk right now, it will happen. And
We'll
then you
see.
will go and get the new car. We'll see, right? We'll see.
Okay, so that was Monday. Tuesday was my cat's birthday. He turned 16. And I went to Target because I had to get other stuff. And I knew in my head I needed to get him another scratching board because the ones he had are a little old. And I go to the pet section, I go to the cat section, and everything's Halloween. And I'm like, I don't want Halloween for my cat. So I look around the pillar, and right on the bottom shelf is one last catch scratcher board that is perfect. It's not Halloween. And I love crystals. I showed Irene a picture. It's a 2-story little flat shop. And on the top floor is a crystal shop on it. So it was perfect for me. Vivo loved it. And yeah, so I went to Target that day, and there were 2 Target trucks on the drive in and out of that place too. So Target, I knew I was on track. Vivo,
Okay,
It's
you
power.
sleeping again. See?
That's why
You're
I'm selling it
sleeping.
now.
No, what about the scratcher?
Oh, I never thought of that one. Well, it's
The birthday of the cat.
birthday, yeah. But the scratcher,
A birthday gift.
yeah.
A place to what? Place to do what?
To play, but also file his nails.
A play, right? Use something, use a tool.
Mm.
A tool, a power tool, tool for the power. Something, a power tool. But especially what you liked was the crystal shop. I couldn't even understand what you were showing
Oh,
to me.
sorry.
I saw Barkley, something like Barkley. I'm thinking, what's
Oh,
this
the
bark
company.
all about?
No, it was just the crystal shop.
The cat thing is Barkley. What bark has to do with a cat meow?
No.
So maybe
Uh,
crystal shop is something.
I mean, crystals for me, they're good energy, they're light, they are power. And I don't know, I know in a lot of the calls we talk about forces of nature, beings of elements. And they're like, for me, I guess, physically manifested ones that I can actually work with and play with. I often mention I'm playing with my crystals, not working with them, and they play with me. So it's,
Yeah,
they're tools.
yeah.
So
That's what we eventually should do. We should play with the energy, with the power, not basically push through it, but play with it.
Yeah. So, is there anything else? Okay. So that was Tuesday. Wednesday morning, I had a dream where I got stuck in a parking garage underground. I can see the light, like I'm not underground. I'm like near the exit, but I'm walking out, and I somehow got lost and off the path that would lead me out. So I have to like crawl back under an overhang to get back to the path because I, for some reason, couldn't just walk out the driveway. I don't know how, but anyway, I managed to walk back to the path, but I'm trying to duck because I see cobwebs. They're not very old, but they're still dusty, and I'm still like, cobwebs. I managed to miss the first batch of cobwebs, but for some reason I like lost balance and I went head into a bigger batch of cobwebs, and I totally woke up freaking out and going like this because I'm like, I hate spiders and cobwebs, and I'm trying to clear my head out of this mess. And so old stuff and death.
When did you start on Monday being
Monday was the
afraid?
fear.
And then cobwebs
Was
on
Wednesday.
Tuesday.
Wednesday. Yeah.
They're related. Cobwebs is also fear.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's old. It's something old issue.
Mhm.
But cobwebs always invoke fear in people. Because if it's some kind of haunted mansion, it will be in cobwebs. It's not something positive. So definitely, if we see a spider, it's death. But I don't know, cobwebs is not really a spider. Cobweb is a part of the spider.
It's a
realm.
pyro spider. I knew there were, I mean, I didn't look at it in detail, but I knew there were old bug parts on it. Like I saw it wasn't just a web. There was stuff in it. So it's like, okay,
Yeah.
I know there's bleh.
Yeah. Well, something is like a issue that is very, very old.
So I knew it was old, but I knew it was also not as old because it wasn't like,
It doesn't matter.
okay.
Cobwebs are cobwebs. They're old because if you check that corner all the time, then there is no cobweb. You will clean it. But because cobwebs are there, it suggests that it's old. It doesn't mean 3 days or 5 days old or past life old. But for us, cobwebs are old. Like I said, immediately, if you think about major cobwebs, it would be haunted mansion or some old mansion that nobody lives in and somebody died in or whatever, right? The big thing with basically deserted. And there are cobwebs there because nobody cleans them up. So to me, that would be you've reached a part of yourself that hasn't been touched, but it came up the surface ready to be dealt with. And the fear was prelude for this, if that makes sense to you.
Mhm.
Does it make sense? Imberlin, does it make sense to you? Yep. Good. See, that's another word for your vocabulary.
Cobwebs.
Yeah, we got a lot today.
Okay.
A cat scratcher, in case Imberlin gets a cat eventually. I'm teasing you here.
All right. Started my commute. Get on just about as I'm going onto the freeway. I look up, it's kind of misty, cloudy, not very rainy, but it's wet enough. And I see a double rainbow, but not a normal double rainbow. So I see an arc going this way, and it's a fat arc. And then I see another arc going this way, but very faint. And I'm like,
Wow.
oh, they don't meet.
Right.
There's definitely a gap, but I'm like, I don't see this much. If I don't think
Yeah.
I've ever seen a double
Me
rainbow like
neither,
that.
right. Yeah.
So I took that as, well, if I connect them, it forms a V. So
Mhm.
I got victory on
Yep.
top of rainbow.
And
So
blessed victory.
yeah,
Double rainbow.
so that was cool. Wednesday. Okay, so now back to surgery again.
And I
So
do remember about celebration, so you don't even need
That's
to
what I-
remind me because
about this
I
one.
do remember that.
Okay.
It's amazing. I remembered Melissa's celebration and I remembered that Stacy is in San Diego. So that's
So I mean, I knew it was gonna, okay, backtrack. So surgery, they, for all the health problems, they were gonna take out my uterus because of the health stuff. When we had done pre-op talk, she said there might be a little bit of uterus left just because of its connection to the cervix, but
I didn't remember that. Maybe, I don't know if you told me or
I
not.
don't
I'm
know if
sure
I
you
told you or
told me, I
not,
don't
but
know.
obviously they're going to get as much of the organ out as possible. When I went back later and looked at the exam notes, it said that they took out the uterus, fine, whatever,
Whole thing
the whole thing.
in the exam
So
notes, whole thing.
in the exam notes, they said they took out the organ and everything was sealed and fine on whatever. So I had an already anticipated, okay, in my mind, how am I going to know if it's my time of month? She said, because, and every doctor still says, like, okay, we're taking out the uterus, everything else is intact. You should still have your hormones fine. You should not be going into early menopause, blah,
See,
blah,
you
blah.
never mentioned that to me. That's why I was in shock.
Oh,
You never
I'm
said,
pretty
no,
sure.
I would know. I was in shock. I
Oh,
literally didn't know. Yeah.
okay. Well, for sure, that's why everyone is like, if you take out the ovaries and the fallopian tubes, for sure you'll go into menopause. But because I said no, I was like, I won't. But in my head, I was still like, but I'm still messing up with the hormones
Yes,
somehow by taking
big
out a
time.
big
And
organ.
menopause is not fun. It's not fun. How many people suffer from menopause? Nobody talks about it because it's unmentionable, so to speak. But if you start talking to women, you will hear a lot of horror stories.
And then you read Christiane Northrup and says menopause is not really normal, just here. Anyway,
Isn't
besides the
that
point.
amazing, right? My mom suffered from menopause for 10 years, 10 freaking years out of your life.
No thanks.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Well, we won't, but
We won't.
still. See, Amberlyn, I keep saying because Melissa knows this stuff, but you knew, so that's why. We're heading towards superior health. This work is also to increase health to the point because we're creating temple for God to flow through. That's a big feat to do. That's not a small feat, as they say. I'm saying big feat. So it's health.
So anyway, I knew this week was going to be my time of month if I actually still had my period. And
Yeah, I didn't know even that you could have period with us.
yeah. Well,
With
anyway,
uterus.
Wednesday, I started spotting. And I'm like, oh. So what she said was right. She had left a little, or I don't know if it was intentional or not intentional or whatever, but apparently there's enough uterine tissue still left to my cervix that I was, going through my time of month. But no pain, except for later that night, I had the mildest of cramps, but no pain, very little bleeding, and I was functional. And overall, my period was 3.5, maybe 4 days of just spotting with very little symptoms. And I went to work just fine this week. I knew I was lower energy. And again, at least I recognize that part for my period. But like, yay, no early menopause, and yay, I still have my period. That's so much more improved. And I told Irina, like, one of my friends had been kind of nagging me to like sit and process my emotions after the surgery because you just went through so much trauma. And like, I kept telling her, I don't feel like I have to because I did all the work ahead of time.
I've been processing for the next
For the last like
6 years
6
already
years,
by
right?
now.
So I was like, I don't feel like I have to process, but she's like, just sit with it and it'll come when you least expect it. I'm like, nice, pat. Okay.
And look how she's glowing. Amberlyn, look at her. She's glowing again.
But then I sat with it. I'm like, okay, I'm in my period. Oh, no wonder I can't process or mourn because the anger's gone. The angry main part of the organ is gone. And what tissue or organ I have left is here, healthy and for me to still love and bless and heal whatever else it's here. So it's like I get the best of all worlds, right? I got rid of the angry part that was not serving me and was very painful, but I still have my organ.
So basically, you got intact. You're
Yeah.
you intact. You like you
Yeah.
said, the bad part is gone, but the rest is here.
The rest
You
is
didn't
fine.
lose anything.
Mm-hmm.
And that could
So
only be because you've processed. If you didn't, you would believe that male doctor who said, let's just cut out everything.
yeah.
Oh, oh,
So
oh, did you hear my growl?
a little bit.
Oh,
So that was the realization around, not sorry if it's TMI, but whatever. My period this week, which was all
this
kinds of
is
good.
so perfect. This is celebration, another one. We have another coming up, but this one is, oh my gosh, this is celebration. I mean, from how many days? 10 days out of the month, lost years, I could say, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
In a way, years.
mm.
Yeah, and the
I-
pain, and you couldn't even go to work at
Yeah.
least one day for sure.
Yeah.
The pain was so severe, and suddenly spotting and little bit of period, you still on a period.
Yeah, it was like fine.
And it's funny how you said I was functional. For us, because we didn't experience to that extent, we are functional. I know I'm functional, but for you to say I'm functional, that's a huge difference because you were not functional before and now you are. Oh, are you all both, everybody who's watching too? Do you feel the big, big significance and celebration and just amazing? The life again is changed in a very positive way. Oh, oh. So are you still happy that we didn't do it? I feel like I went through it with you, right? I've been there every minute of the day, so to speak.
From when we knew that surgery was not an option to when we knew surgery was finally time.
Yeah. So do you still believe that everything was right how it was supposed to be because we had to release the anger first, then everything would be, yeah, very good. Oh my gosh. Oh.
Okay. Do I want to do this long dream?
First, let's celebrate
Okay.
the other one. You know, do you remember which one?
I thought this was the celebration.
She forgot. I remember. I told her, remind me because I will forget. Now she forgot. The testing. The COVID testing.
Oh, well, that was the next day. That's where I was going next.
Well, go next.
I had a dream before that.
Oh,
That's
okay. Okay, go ahead then.
So Thursday, long dream, because I am known for my very epic wild dreams. So in this dream, there is this termed wild woman who had been kept in a very secure, not prison cell, but secure high facility something. Because she's very, 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 very dangerous. She's in maximum security kind of detention rooms. She has previously tried to escape with very bad results on the security end, but they always manage to catch her and like keep her back in. This is a very scientific facility who's doing a lot of research on stuff, and they don't know what to do with her yet. But eventually, somewhere up, higher up says, okay, you know what? Rather than keeping her locked up, let's just open all the doors and try to reassure her that she's not, or that we're not going to try to threaten her or harm her anymore. There is a language barrier she doesn't understand them. They don't understand her. She actually doesn't really talk that much, are kind of nonverbal, but she knows she is very powerful. So there's this one guy, scientist, I don't know, who's in charge of just like kind of drawing her out of this cell area and trying to indicate like no harm. Here's food along the way. And of course, she's highly reactive. She's very suspicious, but cut to overtime. She doesn't escape because she's like, well, in her head, they are feeding me. I have shelter. No one's harming me anymore. Cut to even more time. Eventually, there is a project going on that they're like, okay, even though the language barrier still isn't there, they're starting to trust each other now. And they need her help in something. And she kind of understands that they need her help for this thing. And so they're starting to work together. The trust is definitely still not there. She will only kind of trust that one person out of the whole entire building, but it's something. And he has been warned by higher up that don't get attached to her because you still have a family outside the facility and you have other obligations. But obviously, if he's working this closely with her, he's going to, you know, develop something, whatever. So yeah, that was that dream.
Wow, so clear.
Oh yeah, there's other details. But anyway, so I in my head immediately when I woke up, I'm like, this is the live stream who had been caged forever and ever and ever and locked up because she has all the power, obviously. And she's coming out, but she's obviously very angry and very distrustful at this physical world that has tried to control her and keep her quiet and down. This one male figure, he is a good guy. He's really trying his best for her. Yes, he's listening to higher ups in terms of guidance, but not really. Like he's going with his instinct in terms of trying to help her out. And whatever this big project is, almost scientific / military based, I just knew, okay, they're working together in this physical world to do what I don't know, but yeah. So I was actually more happy after this dream because I was like, hey, they're starting to work together.
What day of the
This
dream?
was Thursday.
Yeah. You've been processing since,
A long time.
yeah, well, yeah. The science, what you told us, started on Monday.
Monday.
Yeah. This dream relates to cobwebs. And I will dare to argue about live stream. I don't think it's a live stream, but you're very close. And it's up to you to decide. But, and it relates to Vivo as well.
Okay.
Here goes the puzzle.
Because I mean, I know she had all the power and she was definitely she.
Yeah. Okay, let's start there. So it's she. So we're talking about, it's not has the power, it's a power.
She was the power.
Yeah. So let's stop there. A power. So she is power. She's not a person with the power. She is your power.
That has
And I will tell you
caged.
why I'm thinking this way. I'll prove it. So do you agree that this is your power? Why I'm saying she is the power, not live stream with the power. She is the power self. Power self, power. Okay. Who put her in a cage, very secure, very closed up, very, 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 very all high security? Who did it?
Ego.
Well, whatever part it was, it's you,
Oh, yes.
whatever part, right?
Okay.
You you understood that the power is extremely dangerous because she is the power. The power is strong. You have the strong power, and you know, or you knew, she cannot be out in the open. She has to be closed up. Hence the high security, the highest security. Not a prison, but a locked up facility, nonetheless, right? So we got that part. You lock her up. It's like I had in my inside, I found it from inside. Big, and I drew it. Big creature, big man, apparently, huge, in a cage. And I'm little, standing next to the cage, having the key. So obviously, I was the one to lock him up in a cage, and I had the key. And I'm not going to unlock it because I know he's strong and powerful, right? So the same here. This is your power, and you locked it up because you know she's dangerous, she's too powerful, and you didn't know what to do with it. Okay, now we see the progress, and it's the old one. So she is caged, basically, even though she's not in prison, but she's caged anyway. So it's a caged energy. For Emberlyn, I mentioned before, caged energy. When I mentioned caged energy, it's something that we did not know how to handle at some time, at some point, this lifetime or past lives. A lot of times it's past lives. And we lock it up, that memory, it's a memory. And we lock it up and we hide the key and we just don't want to deal with it. It's out there. So usually it's not emotional. Usually it's, not emotional. The memory is not emotional. Usually it's usually blood and gore or a cage or a dungeon or some kind of nasty thing. So high maintenance, high security level would qualify for that, right? Locked up. So that's why I say caged. I used to do the caged process on people, with people in hypnosis, and it's quite a process. We would go into castles and find things, and these are just memories. So that's why I say they're unemotional, because usually when we process cage stuff, people don't cry. They just observe. But it's very, very powerful. We released a lot. So anyway, okay, something else is there. That's where the fear is coming up. Fear, cobwebs, old. So that power has been locked up for a very long time. And grieving because she was not available. So I would say this is all connected. But now they open the door. The doors are open, and now they're starting to cooperate. So inside of you, the human, the ego, is starting to cooperate with the power. So you are literally showing the progress of healing the power. Now, the time has come to assign the power the place. What kind of part? What is the part? What is the power? What are we talking about? What part of you?
What? I don't understand the question.
Okay, I'll just give you the answer. It's the feeling body. The feelings are the power in the body. We don't have any superficial or super whatever thing. Our feelings are the power. Your feelings were locked up in a high security prison or facility. You did not want to open up your feelings, because if I open up my feelings, I know what to expect, because What do you mean dangerous? Dangerous because I know I'm angry. And ladies, we could not have this session and I could not interpret Melissa's dream. I could mentally, but I had to be ready for it, right? Because I did release it yesterday. And last night I was releasing. I was so angry yesterday. Yesterday, Saturday was pure torture for me. I hate, like you said, I hate, what did you hate? Whatever. I hate swim meets. I just passionately hate swim meets. Competition, swim competition. I was there yesterday. We were so miserable. It was horrible. But why was it horrible? Because I needed to release anger in order to calmly talk about it today. That's why. Yeah, Amberlynn had her football practice. I had my swim meet. We couldn't meet. But the truth is, what is the truth? I had to be ready to process with you today because I needed to release it first. And of course, I went to Red Robin and all the protocol of releasing my anger the usual way. How amazing is that, right? So yes, it's the power and it's the feelings. Feelings are the power. And we kept those feelings deep, deep, deep in a cage, completely closed up. And hence, Mother, emotionally unavailable, showing to us the cage, the high security, locked up. Yeah, makes sense?
Mhm.
So because the anger is gone, because of the surgery, look, it's happening right after the surgery. Yeah, you needed some healing period, but then it happened after the surgery. The angry part is gone. So she is not angry anymore, the power. The feeling body is not angry anymore. And because of that, she starts trusting a little bit, because before, why were we angry so much? Why was our feeling body full of anger? Because we were abused a lot. The power was abused a lot, right? The female. So the feelings were angry from all the stuff that we have had created in our lives, and we were angry about it for millennia, all the reincarnations. So we're healing it. And what is the power? The feeling body. And that's the female, not the live stream, right? Not the main one who is on the journey, but another female, the one that is represented in the feeling body, the feeling. So another celebration. She's gradually opening up. You open the doors. Cool, right? Does it resonate with you? I know it resonates, right, Melissa?
Mhm.
Yeah. Amberlynn, does it resonate with you? Is it amazing stuff? Right? Yeah.
Okay. All right, now the actual celebration you wanted me to remember. So COVID, I work in a healthcare facility. I have refused to be vaccinated. So I had this, whatever, there's a certificate that says, for personal reasons, I decline. But one of the requirements to continue obviously working in the healthcare facility is weekly testing to just, continue to show I'm negative. I never really let it bother me. It's inconvenient. I always go on my lunch breaks, but whatever. So I've been doing this for a while. And finally, actually Wednesday afternoon, the CEO of the clinic emailed out, hey, for those who have the certificate or the declination, official decline, weekly testing is no longer required. So I don't have to deal with that anymore. Although I always got really good signs on that like short drive to and from the COVID testing. But yeah, no more weekly testing for me.
The reason I said it's huge and we need to celebrate is I'm not looking at this as the end result. I'm looking at your journey. This is what I want you to reflect upon. Again, ladies, we always celebrate. If we don't notice what we've done, if we don't celebrate it, what's the point? So I want you to look back at the time when COVID started. We were working already on stuff. You were terrified, like everybody else, and you were at the facility where you were dealing with patients. So you were right in the midst of COVID stuff, right? Especially patient would come and they might be with COVID and everything. And the pressure on you to vaccinate was huge. You in California, that's one. The second one, you were in a health-related health facility, medical, what do we call it? Medical provider facility, right? Medical stuff. So you were double, and then you were triple pressured because your mom, your Eileen, your everybody else, the family. Triple pressure from all sides. And the fourth pressure, you were scared. And you were debating. I remember that. You were debating vaccine or no vaccine. We had to work through that fear. We had to work through everything related to that. And look where you are now. First of all, you have proven. Can you talk about it? What have you proven?
It's not contagious. It's
not contagious. The virus doesn't spread. In Berlin, we have out of like alien views here, right? Crazy. We're crazy here. We're not muggles. So we have opposite beliefs. I know it from Ascended Masters who said vaccination is sinister force. Sinister force made it good, suggested that it kills population. Vaccination kills people, not heals them or cures them or prevents anything. But the pressure was so we had to, basically, Melissa had to choose between, well, Irina said, and I never said, Melissa, don't do it. I could not do it legally or ethically, right? It's your choice. I'm passionate about it, very passionate. I showed my passion and opinion, but it has nothing to do with me. I couldn't make that choice. You had to make that choice, and I made it clear, right? Remember? So on one side, it's a 4 times pressure, including from inside. 3 pressures from outside and 1 from inside. Maybe I'm forgetting some other pressure. Maybe Vivo pressured you too. Who knows? The cat, Vivo. So, and then you chose this path. You remain healthy. You never got COVID, not a single time. Even when Joseph had that stance, pulled the stance, right? Got COVID.
He got COVID. Mom and I stayed fine.
I mean, yesterday they slept in the same bed. The next morning, Melissa leaves for work. Joseph announces that he has COVID. He thinks this is it, the end of the world, and Melissa will get COVID
very sick and die.
And she just left the house, so it doesn't count, right? COVID doesn't count. When you were sleeping in the same bed, touching each other, and then you go to work, it counts only when you know about COVID, right? When you know about the COVID, then it counts, then it's contagious. But before, it's not contagious. It's a strange thinking. If you believe that it's contagious, then it's contagious. And incubation period is 14 days, right? They did quarantine for 14 days, everybody, all over the world. Where is your 14 days quarantine? So all of this, it doesn't make any sense. And you're the proof of it. Do you see how significant it is? You did not succumb to the pressure, to the fear, to the cobwebs, to the muggle world, to the appearances. They were pushing you in all directions. I was saying, poor Melissa, it's good for me to say it, don't do it, but I'm in the house. You were in trenches in California, freaking California. I used to live there, I can say it. Do you see how huge it is, or it's only me? I am right now all like, ah! And then you did not say, oh, it's so inconvenient. I'll get vaccine and I don't need to do it every week. No, you went and you did test every single week. That's crazy. For how long? It's been more than a year, right?
Yeah, I honestly don't even remember. Whenever the vaccine started coming
Yeah,
out.
that was a long time ago. And you've been doing it every week. But now your DNA is not changed, your no side effects of any kind. But the main thing is, yes, health effects are incredible, but they're not even as important as your resolve now, because you have proven that God is everything. Because if everybody believes in God, COVID started, suddenly everybody forgot about God. Vaccine is the God, not God. Oh, God doesn't heal. Nobody even thought about that. Oh, maybe we can look up and see if God could heal us. Oh, no, it's vaccine. Only vaccine will help. Oh, ah. So, Melissa, that I hope I'm not persuading anything, but I'm just, this is so huge. This is so huge. Your victory over the old world is amazing in all respects. In a short period of time, everything like tick, 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 tick got into in a good place, right? And the power is ready to emerge. Clap, 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 everybody, clap, 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 clap. It's a huge, huge, huge thing. And she's like this. She's always like this. And I'm jumping up and down, and she's like, yeah, I'm celebrating. You can see it, but yeah, I'm celebrating.
Okay.
But do you agree with all this?
Mhm.
Any emotion, happiness, any celebration here?
There's
Do at least
happiness
this.
inside.
Do this.
Okay.
Ay.
Yeah, no, I know something, well, obviously between the dream, between that was fine. I knew literally something was ending because my clock, even though it works, the alarm didn't go off, or at least I thought I had slept through the alarm. And like, 6:30, which is fine. I wake up then anyway. But then it happened Thursday and Friday and yesterday. So I'm like, is my alarm even working? So I charged it, and I thought I charged it enough, but it didn't work again.
On the phone?
No,
Regular alarm?
my alarm clock.
Oh yeah, that's right.
My white alarm clock. Finally charged it yesterday, and I know something worked because now it works beautifully again. The alarm went off this morning.
So it didn't work.
It did not work.
Yeah.
Because it was low power, not completely out. The time was still going, but the alarm function wasn't working.
Good. The end of times.
And now it has restarted.
And I would say I also want to return back to the testing. I'm attached to it now by now. The testing. You didn't say what the meaning is. The end of testing.
Well, isn't it literally the end of this test?
Exactly. Exactly. And if we don't say it, we'll miss it. It's the end of your lesson. And the lesson was checking your faith. You've been working on it, you get the lesson, and the lessons are severe. You know that. So you have proven that you look up to God and you follow and you're not afraid. The main thing is, oh my gosh. I got chills right now. I think I'm on
Your
target.
chills are contagious. Thanks.
You got chills?
Yes.
Good. You know what it is?
No.
It's a fear. Fear, whatever fear it is. Because everything about COVID was fear. COVID equals fear, right? Everybody was scared. You were scared at the beginning as well. But fear, so one of the lessons, obviously, I wish we could make a list of what will be. I don't know if it helps or not. They sneak in those tests. But that was a test on fear and faith. You had to prove your faith over fear. And that's why testing is over, because your lesson is over. You passed the test with flying colors. OMG. Does it resonate? Do you agree? Do you
Now
see
I
that?
want to do my happy dance.
Ah, finally he's doing when we missed that part, so that's why she was not doing it. Now we're doing it. Now it's completion. Emberlyn, does it make sense to you? You hearing it from like on the side, right? Make sense to you? Isn't that amazing? Tests are severe. Spiritual tests are not a joke, and they will be coming because every time we learn some major lesson, which takes time, you will be tested. I will be tested. We always test it, which I know. I mean, and there is nothing we can do about it because it's a good thing for us, right? If we didn't learn the test, if Melissa would succumb to fear, she wouldn't have learned it. Then she wouldn't be able to progress. Oh, I don't even want to go there. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So now we see that, and since we're talking about it, here is the confirmation of everything I said before, that we cut one organ and then another organ is affected if we didn't heal first. So I'm basically jumping to the surgery stuff, but it's all related. I got a message. It's the time when I texted you the hair up, and I was shocked. So suddenly I get a message from somebody in Russia, and they say to me, our friend, my mom had a friend, and she was my friend as well. I mean, she was our friend for more than 30 years. We knew her in Russia. And lately we were just, saying things on WhatsApp. We communicated through WhatsApp. And I got the message, she died. So after long sickness, she died. And we didn't know she was sick, but she didn't tell us. But she died from sickness. And I said, what is the sickness? So I asked the relative who sent us the message. And I said, did her cancer return? Because she had many years ago, she had cancer and they cut her tongue out. She had a cancer of tongue. Imagine. Yeah, that's why we couldn't even talk. We had to communicate through WhatsApp. And well, basically, we've heard the news that everything is fine. It's been many years ago. But because she didn't know about this work, obviously, right, I always feel sorry for those people because muggles don't know, don't want to know, blah, blah, blah. So she died from cancer of female stuff. They didn't mention, they didn't. I assume it's uterus. What could be there? Ovaries or uterus, something female. But here is the confirmation. There was tongue affected. They cut it out, thinking, oh, we cut it out. It's all fine. No, it's not fine, because it's not the physical organ. It's the internal mental and emotional and etheric bodies are affected, angry, and then it will progress with time to cancer. So if the tongue is not there anymore, let's get female stuff. And she died anyway. Do you see? If we don't do this work, then it will happen no matter what. Just give it a time. Yeah. Inspirational pep talk. Okay, keep going. I think I said my piece.
Not a lot left. Thursday got into work, someone else was announcing a new baby girl that was 9 days old. So new little power. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Flood of continuing U-Hauls and FedEx trucks everywhere. So moving and help. And Friday. So Friday, got to work. My medical assistant was very happy to see me back so soon. She thought I would be at least out another week or two, but whatever. She came back. She's like, I have a gift for you. She had gone home to her parents' place in Mexico. She hasn't been since she was 17 years old. She's older than me.
Oh,
And
wow.
she's telling about the story, like all her family has gone. Her parents, when they retired, had built their dream home in Mexico and loved it for like years and years, like 20 years or so. Everyone's been in who's in the family has gone. Even her kids have gone, and they're like, you should go. It's lovely. You'd love it. And in her head, she had never wanted to go back because her association when growing up was fields and dirt and hard work and all that. So she refused to go. Her dad apparently has cancer and his health has declined to the point where he can't do the whole like go back and forth between Mexico and the US. So they're gonna move permanently back here. But that means he has to let go of this house that he had built and loved. And so she was finally convinced that, you know what, let me just go the one time to see the house and be with the family. And she's like, yeah, now I regret not going earlier because I love the house. And the dad had been asking if any of the kids would want the house. None of them wanted it because they're like, we wouldn't go back enough and they wouldn't love it enough, obviously, as he did. So he ended up selling it. They're finally going to move out like January. But in the meantime, everyone's like traveling to visit back and forth. She went to visit. She loved it. She remembers all the good stuff about everything else. And so she told me that story. And then she said, here, I gave you something from where I used to live or near to where I used to live. So she got me a mug. Guadalajara mug. But then on top of the mug, she gave me a keychain, which I was like, okay, death. Yay.
Yeah. Death of hard work, poverty consciousness, luck and
Yep.
death, all the
All
nasty
of
stuff
that.
that we do not want.
So yeah, then that was Friday. And that's the end.
That's the perfect end. Like I finally released the Russian nasty stuff that I don't want. Same thing. And you did here, so amazing. Or you're doing it right now, releasing.
Mhm.
So cool. So cool. And the cup. So tell us about the Guadalajara cup. You didn't even open it yet because it's not time
No,
yet.
because I'm going to donate it. I don't need it. I have a million mugs.
Okay, sounds good. But what's the meaning of a mug? It's literal.
It's a cup. It's a vessel.
Yeah. Yeah. May it always be full. New mug,
New mug.
new vessel.
Mug always has
Holy Grail.
warm tea or hot chocolate, so it's always comfort
Look at
too.
this guy. Yeah. Very cool. I said, look at this guy. I can see only his nose right now. Wow.
And thus endeth my week.
What a journey. What a week. See, when you've done the work, it seems like when we're doing the work, it seems like forever, right? We whine often, we're tired, we're done, and we still do it. And then when it all gets like this, boom, 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 and together in great signs, we say it's worth it, right? Yeah, very cool. Congratulations in all respects.
Thanks.
She's like, oh, nothing. I got used to it. That's my life. All right, Emberlyn with a cute thingy here, little doggy. What's his name?
That's Chip.
Chip. Hi, Chip. He doesn't hear us, but
No.
he's cute.
He's a mama's boy.
Yeah, nice.
So, thank you, Melissa, for taking me on your week's journey of all of your years and years of hard work and processing and all the learning and everything that I just love hearing everything you share. Thank you. And thank you for helping me learn more about science. um, I have not been okay. Well, I was actually going to ask you, Melissa. Do you like you've just gotten? I guess it just must be habit. Um, when you're writing everything down that like happens during the week, and you go and like reread your notes, you know, about what happened on this day or that day. Do you just do that like in your phone, or do you actually write it down in a journal?
So if I'm not near my computer, I text myself or I email myself just the snippet of dragonfly or U-Haul with this sign. And then that's enough of a prompt for me to later, when I have time, I have my journal on the computer to flesh it out more.
I
Okay.
also take pictures if I can, and then I refresh my memory with pictures as well. I go when I get home and sit in my meditation chair. I look through the pictures on the phone, and I know, okay, this license plate, this, and I make a list as well. Are you okay?
Sorry.
Is your husband there or who?
I got a
Oh.
house full.
Oh, Sunday,
Um,
Monday.
mhm. So, but basically, what I kind of as you were going over your week, Melissa, I was doing the same thing because I haven't gotten in the habit or strengthened the habit of doing that. I just let the days just go and go and go and
Yeah,
then
you
like when
won't
you're in
remember. You won't remember.
but then when you're in the thick of something, well, when I'm in the thick of something, then it just seems to take over everything, and then I don't
And that's the best
see
time to
signs.
do the science. That's the best time when you're in the thick of it. Yeah. Because
So
it will support you and help you and keep you in the right mind. And it will make your life much easier when you're in the thick of it. Otherwise, you're the fully engrossed in the drama, and it's just, it's not our way of living. But you have to make an effort, and you have to start doing it. It's I think it's already a habit, right, Melissa? Mine is the habit. I have to do it no matter what. If I'm in the thick of something, which a lot of times happens, right? Like yesterday, I was in that swim meet, which I passionately hated, but I was looking for science, and I saw science, and I was puzzled about the science because they were all great. But of course, I know I had to release, so it was all good. But yes, your thick of stuff is not your priority. You think it's your priority. Your priority is science and realization about what is it all about. Do you see the difference? The muggle's priority is the drama. The initiate's priority is, what do I get out of it? What realization? What's the core? Let me process the feelings. The work on the drama. That's a switch that needs to be made, and only you have to do it, because we can't do it for you. It's everybody has to walk their path. You are not, and we totally understand. Of course, it's hard. You knew. I will repeat it. It's okay. You knew. You're starting. It's okay. It's good, right? We all started somewhere. Melissa started. I started. So, but you have to make that effort. So that's why when you're not in the thick of things, you make that habit already with science. But if you are in it, you still do it. You still do it no matter what. Because you do not let the appearance world disturb you. Remember that this is one of our rules, not my rule, Ascended Master's rule, and not even my words, their words. So hopefully that will help.
Yeah, I think that is, I think I've been working towards that, because I know that the old me would have responded entirely different to the drama,
Right.
than the way I did. But so it's there's growth and progress there.
And it's still hard. We do not discard that it's hard. Nobody did. We whine, we do. And I say we have the right to whine. That's our motto. We have the right to whine. Not really by Ascended Masters, but I declare that we do. Right, Melissa? We whine sometimes because it's hard. But when you focus on the other side, it will take you through. It will give you that magic. I literally, one day, I was looking at science and it was so incredible, because to me, incredible science means you can make this stuff up, right? I mean, it just comes and you just say, no matter how I don't want to believe, I still believe, because you can't make that stuff up. And it just, the word magic came to me. I usually don't use this word, but that day I said, oh my gosh, science make my world magical. And that day, Mary, you know how Mary texts a lot of science. So that day, Mary said to me, magic word. So we both acknowledge on the same day, again, you can't make this stuff up, on the same day for the first time, that science make our world magical, because she said pure magical, some magic, and she related to science. And I said, that's exactly I was thinking. I was just standing there in front of my car, got that sign, and I said, science make my life magical. I hope to convey that meaning to you, what I feel by that. Melissa, I know, feels the same way. She wouldn't be here like that if she didn't, right, Melissa? It's magical. But you have to allow yourself to be in that space, right? And it takes practice. It takes training. It takes effort at first, I guess. I never had effort because I believed it from the very beginning, and it was like second nature to me. I do acknowledge that, but it's not for everybody. So it's okay. So yeah, when you are in the thick of things, what you do is you still keep your eyes open and say, what's the sign? Just tell yourself, what's the sign? What is the sign here? What's the sign there? And through the day, just keep reminding yourself. Would that, I don't know, it didn't work for me. Maybe it will work for you. What could you come up with as a reminder? People put a bracelet that doesn't do any good to me. But maybe you could put a bracelet on your arm and here, and when you look at it, oh, the sign, I need to get the sign. Not that it will come when you need to get the sign, right? But as a reminder, would that work? Would you? Or maybe something, Melissa, do you have any ideas? To keep you away from drama into our magical world. Because imagine Melissa had that drama. We're talking right now, it's so easy, but it wasn't easy when she was pressured to be vaccinated. It was scary. And her family members, her sister stopped talking to her. It was big drama. And she still persevered. So she was in drama big time, many times.
I know the bracelet works for some people. It didn't work for me. It was more, I don't know. In the very beginning, this is maybe just how I work. It was knowing that Irina gave me homework to do to get signs. And knowing I have homework made me do it.
Well, if that works, that works.
That's what worked for me. But I wanted to tell Amberlynn, like, yeah, in the beginning it was homework. And somewhere in these past 5+ years, it transitioned from homework to, because the habit is so anchored, she's mentioned, I've mentioned, I look forward to the signs because it's giving me direction of where I am in this moment.
Yeah.
Or what I need to focus on in this moment, rather than, oh, what does this sign mean for me on the other side? Like searching out these signs to figure out like where I am versus confirming where I am, or I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
They give directions.
Yeah.
We get anxious when we don't get the signs that day. No, we don't go without signs the whole week. But one day, if I don't get the signs one day, oh, no, I want my signs, right? But it's usually when we process. When we start processing, sometimes signs subside. Yeah, I've noticed that. My nose is itching. But they return very quickly, and they tell us where we are. So yeah, what do you think? Let's come up with something right now, Amberlynn. What could help you? Because remember, you have whole capability. When I gave you homework to get the God is close and personal and actively present in your life, you got that sign very quickly. So we tested your abilities. You have them. You just need to switch your attention from all this. It's like a swamp that's pulling you back, right? Yeah, quicksand. Yeah, you have to be in this quicksand right now, but you have to be on the other side also, looking at magical things.
So I don't know, maybe bracelet helps, or wearing a piece of jewelry on the wrong hand. Like your ring on the other hand, it's like, oh, why is this there? Oh, because it's keeping me grounded in the moment, or remind me of, this is weird. So,
or even mark maybe with the Sharpie, some only the victory over everything, or something. What do you think you can do? That's what you were asking, right? How to get out of that feeling and drama and being on the other side. Are we asking the right question? I mean, did we give you the correct answer, or you were asking something else? Because you look desperate right now. And I totally understand. I do. We'll talk on Wednesday. But regarding signs, what can you say?
Yeah. So I think that I just have to work it in baby steps, because the nature of who I am as a person dictates, as a mortal being,
The
it's
human,
just
the human is very
who
strong.
my
Your
human
human
is.
is very, very strong, and we can see it clearly. You have a mirror that shows you your human, and he's very
Yes.
strong. Yeah.
And I can go heavy into one thing at a time, like
Mhm.
hardcore, but then I lose the ability to do other things, or my focus gets pulled off of other things. So I've been very heavy into not even just the drama, because I'm not into the drama,
Okay.
but
Good.
establishing the or reaffirming the calm and the peace and the going back to my prayers and my calls and my
Oh, that's
affirmations.
good. That's
So
good.
I've been going heavy into that, nonstop, nonstop, because that has taken me away from the drama, even though the drama is just nonstop,
Right.
like nonstop. And the reason, so that moment that you're referring to, when you challenged me to find that God was present and active in my life, and I got that. I know why that was. Can't say it, but I
Okay.
know why that was. And the things that led to that, or that enabled me to see that, I should say, have been happening less and less lately. Like my whole, it's very, I'm sure you're just like, oh, she's crazy. But no, I just can't
Oh no, you're not crazy. We're crazy. You're not
say
crazy. You're
it.
normal human. We're not.
So I guess I know that I have the capability of
Yep.
seeing them and recognizing them, and I know they're there. I know they're there. I just am not actively recognizing them, or I'm not
Because,
actively seeing
and I
them.
know why. You haven't made that decision yet.
Okay.
I like to be one project at a time, especially in business, for example. If I do, I will be focused only on this part, and I will be doing so. I don't like multitasking. I like also one deeply focused. But why can't you add science to you already praying all of that? And I know why. I think because yeah, we'll finish soon, so I'll just talk to Emberlyn. Bye, Melissa. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe some. Okay, I'll talk to her later. So, Emberlyn, you maybe it's because the prayers and the peace, it's traditional. You've known about it. No?
No, it's because I make a very pointed effort to do that.
Right.
Alone. That's the only alone time I ever get. I don't get alone time.
Right.
And so
Oh yeah,
I
I
do
know.
that alone. And when I'm not alone, I'm inundated
Okay.
with,
While you're inundated, where is your mind? What do you do when you're not alone? So when you're not, unmute yourself, you don't need to mute. When you're not, when you're inundated with stuff, that's the best time to look for signs, because they will tell you, you will be surrounded by them. You don't need a special time to find the signs.
I know,
They
I
come
can
at
see them
any time.
best when I don't have things coming at me. That's when I
Nope.
can see them best.
No,
Yes.
well, yes, I agree, but you don't need to. You can incorporate them in your daily life, and
Yeah.
they will be part of you.
Absolutely. You are 100% correct. And the ones that I've established, feathers,
Uh-huh.
FedEx trucks, there might be one more that I have that is like, it's just natural. I see them all the time and I recognize them and I say, oh my gosh, look at that. That's blessings. Oh my gosh, that's encouragement. That's love. That's guidance. You know, like I can see those. I can pick those out anywhere I go.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And it's because, yes, because those have been in my spiritual vocabulary longer. So I have more time basically under my
Yeah.
belt with those ones. And all the new ones, like I write them all down, and so that they're constantly like, they're in there. And I have the potential to recognize them. It's so much easier to be open and receptive to them when I don't have the drama just coming at me. That's just the only way I can tell you that.
Right.
So I
Evelyn,
know if I
it's so
accept,
much easier to be in a cave and pray all the time and be away from the outside world. It's not as easy to be like monks. Yeah, it is hard to be a monk. Not many people want to be monks, right? But would you agree that it's much easier to be in a monastery,
yeah,
cooped up, do your little things like attend the garden, sell things for the monastery and pray whole day. Much easier than to be surrounded by a husband, demanding husband, 3 kids, dogs who are demanding as well. Everybody wants your attention. And plus everything else you need to do, and everybody wants a piece of you. They all want your energy. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. There is no denying any of it. But why you're here? Because you're switching your life. And it doesn't happen overnight. That's why I say it will take time. So it's okay. Nobody's pressuring you or pushing you here. They're pushing you on the other side. We don't push you. So what we're doing here is to help you gradually move to the way of life that is not the Muggle way of living.
Yeah.
And the Muggle way of living, you have to make an effort to even switch, right? So knowing perfectly well that it's very, very hard. I would die if I had 3 kids. I'm telling you right there. I could never possibly have 3 kids. That's a lot. That's a lot of work. You a hero. It's crazy, right? To have so many kids. And Shelley has 5. I mean, that's crazy. I admire you guys for doing what you're doing, and you perfect mothers, but I couldn't do it. So I know it's very hard. But what you need to do step by step, without pushing yourself, I mean, without any guilt, without any pressure, anything, we keep repeating, make it fun. So you're driving. When you're driving, you have to look on the road. Either you're looking on other cars, or you're looking at the license plate and plates and noticing what they say. You can make it a habit, because you're not in a drama while you're driving. You can be in a drama. Well,
that's not true. That's not true.
No.
That's not true.
No, Emberlyn, remember, I went through what you're going through. I went through it. I had a husband. I was not all the time all by myself. I had a family. I had my mother, who was between me and my husband, meaning she was very friendly to everybody, but she was a big part that we were arguing about. So I'm telling you, I've been. Don't tell me I don't know. I do. Because I went through a lot of anger. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. We'll be addressing this. Don't right now, don't think about it, okay? I mean, you do, but Amberlynn, you can be in the drama. It's your mind. It's your mind. You're the one who keeps the gate either closed or open. You have to make an effort. It's either you when you're in the car, you don't need to be in the drama because you're in the car driving. Even if you're not driving, you're sitting next to, you know who, you still can either be continuously in the drama, that's your choice, or you can switch and start looking for signs. So don't tell me you cannot do it, because I've done it. And I've been in a very harsh situations. I had 2 husbands to deal with, not just one. And I have my mother, who is not peachy, everything nice all the time. And I have my daughter, who is a teenager now. So we have our own stuff, right? So I do not teach from books. I teach from my experience. So I'm telling you, you can switch, and switching is your salvation. You will not solve. You have to save yourself, right? And we'll help you with that. But you have to save yourself. And to save yourself, you have to start switching in this world of God, in the world of science, in the world of divine guidance. So I will tell you straight in your face, because I know you will take it in the right way. You did not make that decision yet. It's hard. I absolutely acknowledge every single thing. It's super hard. I acknowledge it. Like I acknowledge what Melissa went through. That's why I was celebrating today. One day we will celebrate you and your success. But you at the beginning, like she was at the beginning, that's several years ago. Do you see that? But she made an effort. She had to be strong. She could succumb very easily, but she didn't. And I was actually waiting for her decision, because I didn't know what she would decide. I can't say, Melissa, don't vaccinate, when there is so much pressure. And it right now feels like, oh yeah, it's easy. No, it wasn't easy. For her, it wasn't easy. It was such a pressure, it's unbelievable. So here for you, it's your pressure, because it's your stuff, it's your drama, and it's very, very hard. But you absolutely have the right, and you have the strength. You're very strong. So salvation is in switching and keeping your mind, find the signs. It's at least they're fun. They're not anything scary. They're usually positive, unless they tell you what's coming, but it's in a good way. So we're not dealing with superstition. We deal with divine guidance. So you have to make that decision. The rest, it's your lesson that you have to go through. If you were with me or without me, you're still in the same drama. He will not change just because. You have to change, right? We will talk about that later. So it is your salvation. If you don't do it, here is an example. I already gave that example. I'll repeat it again. When I was with the first husband, I did not have any positive thinking about him. I felt a victim. I was abused, and I was in a foreign country. I hated everything. I hated my life. I wanted to die, didn't want anything, right? But I already started learning about positive thinking. At that time, wasn't even any of the elaborate thing now, right? It was just positive thinking. So I knew I had to switch to positive thinking. And it was extremely hard. If you don't like somebody, well, I could say stronger words, I just don't want to say them anymore, right? I do not want to be positive thinking. And I said, I would drive, hold the steering wheel like this, and I would be like this, love and light, light and love, love and light and love. Literally like a rat. Wah, 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 wah. But I was saying it. I was determined. I knew already on my limited thing, it was 96, 95, 96 when I started. So I knew I had to accept him and I had to go through my lesson. I could not just run away. There was no way I could. So I had to switch. And that was the first step to help me with my healing journey. And eventually I overcame and it was perfect. Everything became perfect. Do you see what I mean? If I didn't switch, if I didn't make that effort, if I was sucked in the drama at all times, which I was at the beginning, I was constantly thinking, I lost a friend because I was constantly complaining, because I didn't know, I was not aware of it. I just was so desperate and miserable, and I didn't know what to do. I was all by myself here with a husband I did not like, right? Who sucked my energy, and I was just, it would let me shaking for 3 days. So yeah, I went through my stuff. And if I didn't switch, if I didn't make an effort, I would not be talking to you today. Make sense? So it is your decision. You have full capability. You have proven you got your tracks counted. You got your God sign found very quickly. When you want something, you get it. And you will get this. You'll become victorious. You will. It takes time. It's your creation. It's your karma. But you have to make that decision. And the decision is, I'm including science in my daily life, no matter what. I will repeat one more time. If I could, my head is my head. It's my command, under my command. I could think about drama while I'm driving or sitting next to the driver, or at that time, I could quietly focus on the science and start reading the trucks, start reading the license plates and see what they mean. And then journal, put stuff in the journal somehow. I could even do it in between things, in between occupation, whatever I'm doing. Very quickly, jot down. You see, you can make it happen if you make that decision. You need to stop saying that you can't do it because you are very busy with everything else, because you will continue being busy with everything else. Nothing will change. Make sense? This is just your reptilian brain giving excuses to pull you back, because all the forces inside, right now you have black and white fighting with each other. What will take you first? Who will win? It's up to you. Because every movie we watch, what do they all do? Fight with monsters. These are your monsters. And you will say, yes, I already have proven I have capability. All I need to do is to make that decision and start doing it. And because you're so disciplined with everything, including your training, I have absolutely 100% confidence that if you make up your mind, you will do it. Make sense? Yours is not about not able to do it. Yours is about decision, because you're very strong. And I know I'm right. Yep.
Yeah.
So I was right. You didn't make that decision. You did not, for whatever reason. I don't know the reason why you didn't make that decision. That signs are important and serious, and it's not just maybe when we say fun, maybe you're not allowing yourself fun because you're very duty oriented. Melissa has been duty oriented a lot. When she came to me, she was all about anger and duty. She didn't know she was angry, but she was dutiful, because Asian family duty, you know. So maybe that's your guilt and duty, and we already know that. But and there is no fun, it's not allowed. So maybe when we say, okay, that's your duty, the signs are your duty, maybe that'll help.
Okay.
But it's a part, if you already have chosen this path. And when you have chosen the path, then you have chosen the signs because they come with the path. I didn't held them for you and then release them later, said, oh, look, we also have signs here. No, it was right from the beginning. And they will help
Yeah.
you because they're just a map, the GPS. They give us information, period. And they keep us very much, they saved me a lot. Otherwise, when you're in the darkness and sun is not there and you're in some dungeon inside your mind because the energy comes up and the anger and all the stuff, and I don't know what I would do without my signs. Yesterday I was so angry, but then Amelia walks in the morning. Amelia walks from my bathroom to outside of my room, right, master bedroom. And I don't know what she did. She never did it before. Suddenly my feather, I have a feather on my mirror stand, and the feather is from the parrot, literal from the colorful parrot, and I have that feather there. It flew. She created a wind. She never did before. Suddenly she created a wind. In what way? I have no idea. So that feather flew through the room and it landed at my feet. How can you explain that? She works there all the time. Suddenly she's doing it. Why? No, because I needed that feather to show me, okay, your day is going to be hard, but here's the feather. You're blessed. You're definitely blessed because the feather came out of, in my room without the wind. Right?
Yeah.
So that's how it works. And it helped me through the day because I knew I got the blessing. I got the signs, they were on the side, they were very positive, but it wasn't like rainbow blessing. It was just one feather and then signs. I got some whatever signs. They were not related to this, I guess. I don't know, maybe they were. I'm sure they were. I just, whatever. But the point is, it helped me through the day. And I knew my anger was associated, I needed to release. I had the dream, then the anger, then misery. We were sitting in the sun. I got burned. Look, I look like a raccoon. Yeah, crazy. So it was such a miserable time. But we had to, I was, because of the sign, I thought you wrote something else. Because of the sign or signs, I knew I would go through it and I would be on the other side. And I did. And look, I'm fine today. I'm not any of it. Is it helpful?
Yeah.
Good. So it's one step at a time. You're not being pushed here at all, but it's one step at a time. It's time to make up that make that decision. This is the part of my life and I want to accomplish it and I want to have it because it will be very helpful to me. Because it's a communication with ascended masters. That's huge. And with your Mighty I Am presence. We can hear Mighty I Am presence not because they don't want to say anything, but because we have to make efforts. It's us, it's not them, it's us. Because we sinned before, we have to return on our own. That's why. But they gave us this system because they want us to make efforts and move forward and start communicating with them. And they're very happy to communicate. I get, you know all my story. I get sometimes when I ask a question, it's right there. Not all the time, depending on what's going on. But it's there. It's GPS. Literally, it's GPS.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a good thing. It's not painful or anything. It's fun. Just say to yourself, it's your duty.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, good. Okay, we will be working. Don't worry about the rest.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, we're done.
All right. Have a wonderful day, Irina.
Thank you. You too, Amberlynn. Bye.
Bye.